Hello again, this is Jasmina. In this video, I'm going to talk about an existing house and how I would deal with the Feng Shui and improve the Feng Shui of this house. In general, existing houses can be helped in various ways. If you're very lucky, you may be able to have a situation where all you have to do is add a door, maybe move a door, or build out a missing sector to create one of the 4 best special formations. If you can do that and you can activate it, then you eliminate all of the problems with the flying stars. It doesn't do anything for the chi men, but at least your flying stars are all taken care of. These houses aren't super common, and it depends on what period you're in, what you can do. The very least thing that we can do is to put elemental cures if there's no special formations that can be activated. But again, this only applies to the stars, not the chi men. So sometimes there's still problems even with elemental cures. However, sometime you can make small modifications that can greatly improve the Feng Shui, and that is what I'm going to show you here. This is the house that's nearing completion. We have an unheated garage and an unheated storage laundry room here. The house is built in a location where it's never cold long enough to worry about the pipes freezing here, and that's why this can be unheated. So the living area of the house is just here where these big heavy walls are. These are ICF walls, which is insulated concrete form walls, and they are very quiet, very well insulated, and very strong, which is one of the reasons they were chosen for this. The general layout of the house is pretty good. There are local requirements that there's at least one ADA bathroom on the first floor that is accessible to someone in a wheelchair. And that is why there's so much room by the toilet and why we have this notch taken out of the closet so that there's an ADA approach to this bathroom door. So this is actually pretty good in terms of space planning, not much wasted space given we have to meet these ADA requirements. Because this laundry room is unheated and is such a large area, it's probably about 1/6 of the entire house. This door normally is kept closed, and that's the way it's designed to be, and it's actually an external, exterior type door, not an interior door. This area here, shaded, is a vaulted ceiling. So when you walk into the house, the house actually feels quite large. The square footage is really, on the inside, is really only about 750 square feet. It's not tiny, but it's certainly not large. When we put in the flying stars, we get this. There are times when this combination isn't good, but it basically depends on the couple. And this is like so-so, but the front door is important. The kitchen has better situation, and the bedroom is fine too. But the problem lies in the chi men chart. So this house was designed without looking at the chi men. And the biggest problem here is the death door. Now the death door does not mean death. It actually means the end of things. The chief actually protects the people inside the house from death and even harm, but the death door will make things not smooth. So this will mean you have to change jobs fairly frequently. You may even have to change careers. So this is a problem unless you really like adventure. The other thing that's sort of unfortunate is that the best flying star combination for period 8 is really only affecting the closet, which is wasted. You can see that, yes, the bedroom is divided into 2 areas from the pie chart, but because the majority of the bedroom is in this sector, that's what controls the entire bedroom. So it doesn't really see this. The other sad thing is that the best area for the Chi Men in terms of relationships is wasted in the bathroom. The 7-star robbery formation, it uses the flying stars, and you need to look at them to see whether or not you could create a 7-star robbery house. Now this would make the house, would cure all of the problems with the flying stars and would make this a permanently good house. However, the way this house is situated on the land and the external landforms basically prohibit this house from becoming even a 50% 7-star robbery house. It just would not be practical. So this is just something that won't be done. There are some good things about the house. The kitchen is actually pretty good. The flying stars are fine. And the moon and the open door actually would make this a good place to have a home-based cooking business. It could be catering, it could be baking, maybe canning or making jellies or jams, things like that. But this death door would make it very hard to have a successful business. If the main door was located here, it would be much better. But these are ICF walls. And to move the main door would require a structural engineer to okay the move, and it might not even be possible. And it would be very expensive. And it would also make the house look rather weird from the outside. So there are many reasons why you wouldn't do this, and expense is a big one of them. One important thing is chi flow, and we want to make sure we get chi flow from the main door into the important rooms or areas of the house. As it's set up, chi will flow into the kitchen, and to have good health, you have to have chi get into the kitchen, and it has to get to your cooktop or your range. In this case, this is not a wall, this is just a change in flooring, so this is all open. So there is no problem. Chi will easily flow into here. The only other important place in this house is the bedroom. And the way it's set up, chi flows from the main door, through the bedroom door, to the bed. And that's important because if you can activate the energy at the bed, that is get chi to the bed, that'll improve your health and your relationships. These 2 areas will need metal cures because in period 8, these 2 stars are the very worst stars. Metal is the cure for this, and one nice thing about them being together is that you only have to have 2 areas of your home where you need metal cures. If these were not together, you would have 4 areas of your house where you need metal cures. The only other issue is that this combination of 3 and 4, here and here, sometimes can lead to arguments. It doesn't always, but sometimes it can. The cure for this is fire. And I don't mean symbolic fire, I mean real fire. So you are talking about a candle or an oil lamp. But it's very dangerous to have one of those things in your house. You never want to leave it unattended. It's okay to be going in and out of the store, and you do activate it some, but if you go to other places in the house, it's fine. If for some reason you're sitting here for long periods of time, yes, you do want to put a candle here, but do not leave it unattended because that's a good way to burn down your house. But these also may not cause you problems. I have lived in houses like this, and this doesn't really seem to be a problem. But I suppose it depends on the person. If you are living here alone, you don't have to worry about it because it's hard to argue with yourself. There is a much better arrangement of this house. If you were stuck with the house, the old house here that we had on the last slide, and you did not have this up here, I wouldn't recommend you stay in that house. I would recommend you move. But we're lucky. We have the ability to open this door permanently. It's even better if you take it off the hinges so that this is just an opening now. When you do that, in terms of Feng Shui, the house is no longer this size. It is now this size. And it's those red lines that show you the outline in terms of Feng Shui of the house. This changes the center of the house, and it will change the Qi properties. It won't change the flying stars, but it'll change the Qi properties. Now this main door opens into the rest door, and that's good for relationships. It's good for family. That's much better than being open to the death door. The other really great thing about doing this is by having the main door in this location, the address is quite lucky. It happens to create a permanent pearl string formation in the purple-white charts. I'm not showing you the purple-white charts here because they change every year, but even though they change every year, this pearl string formation remains every year. So that's fantastic. The bedroom is considered to be in this sector, and that even though we have about equal areas for these two sectors in the bedroom, the headboard is here. And the reason why the headboard is there is for Qi flow. That will allow you to keep good energy into the bedroom, and the whole bedroom will take on these properties. Now, the pearl string formation will make these stars permanently good. And that's good because otherwise when you reach period 9, this bedroom would not be so great. But with this permanent pearl string formation, this is a great bedroom. That coupled with the rest door here overcomes any negativity you might have from the Qi properties. The kitchen actually has better Qi properties than it did. It'll have the same flying stars, but the Qi is better. This means you will find the right information for better health because the kitchen controls your health. It also means that you will be motivated enough to actually follow that information and keep your health in good shape. And it also will help with your wealth because you don't have to worry about your health. You don't have to spend so much money on it. And you have more energy to be able to pursue things that will earn you money. So overall, this is quite good. And again, it receives Qi flow because this is not a wall. This is just a change in flooring. If you do any type of work from home, this is a good location for a desk that you would be working from home. We would be placing a water feature outside here to activate this permanent pearl string formation. We have the mountains in the right place, so that's good. These 2 and 5 no longer need cures because this permanent pearl string formation changes them from negative stars to positive stars. So this is really good. Your door now opens to a positive 5, which is good for money. This is a really good house. There is an alternative. It has its positives, but it also comes at a fairly significant cost. All we do is we add a wall here that is about 6.5 feet from this wall, and we normally leave this door closed. So this is where the laundry is located. So we're basically separating the laundry from the rest of the house. We always leave this one open. And so that changes the outline of the house for Feng Shui, and that moves the center, and it moves the charts. So this chart is better for career because we have chief and open at the front door. But it comes at a significant cost to relationships once we reach period 9. Fortunately, health is unaffected, so that's good. But the biggest problem is we lose this permanent pearl string formation in the purple-white chart, and that really has an effect once we reach period 9. The bedroom sector is pretty good during period 8, but once we reach period 9, the 8s change to a negative thing, a negative star, and tend to become a loneliness star. So if you moved into this place in this arrangement as a couple years into period 9, which begins on February 4th of 2024, you probably will be living here alone. Also, because we lose this permanent pearl string, these two sectors need cures with metal. And this one definitely needs a cure because it's a pretty significant part of the house. And even though in period 9, the 2 tends to be a wealth star, especially in this position, because it's coupled with the death door in the Chi-Men chart, this means, yes, you will make money, but you will also lose a lot too. And it will be like on a roller coaster ride. And most people don't like to do that with their money. They may be fine to do it in real life on a roller coaster, but it's not fun when you do it with your money. The only time I would recommend this arrangement is if you were a young person who really wanted to focus on their career and was okay with not having good relationships, that is, not having a significant other, at least for a few years. This house could be changed to a period 9 house with this with this wall in place. And it would be better for relationships, but it will come at the cost of your career. And my suggestion is, instead of doing that, once you're at a point where you want to focus on your relationship and you're okay with your career, you simply remove this wall. Then you're back with the house that I discussed just 2 slides ago, where this is the outline of your house. And you do have the permanent pearl string formation. And that's a better solution than changing this to a period 9 house. In the next slide, I'm going to talk about a period 9 house compared to that former house, the one that does not have this wall. The only question remains is, what do we do when we go from period 8 to period 9? Is it worth making changes? In period 9, this would be my recommended way to have a thing set up. You would have to have this door closed, because if you didn't, you would not have Chief in Life at your front door. And this is really fantastic to have Chief in Life at your front door. It is actually better than having Snake in Rest, but this is only good for period 9. Once you reach period 1, things start to become quite a bit more negative. This house has the proper flying stars and the proper external landforms that we could create a permanent 7-star robbery house with the flying stars. But in order to do that, this entire interior would have to be gutted, and you would have to move plumbing. Every room would have to move. You would, because of these types of walls that are here, these ICF walls, you would have to get a structural engineer to okay moving a door, and also taking a window out and putting a door in its place, and changing a small window to a bigger window. It would be quite expensive. Now, if you absolutely loved this location, it might be worth doing, but this would be I think, beyond what most people would want to spend. Also, by having the door here with this door closed, you destroy that permanent pearl string formation in the purple-white chart. So the only thing you don't want to do that. You would have to replace it with this permanent 7-star robbery formation. So this would mean very expensive house to do that. So my recommendation is to leave it this way. Do not change it when we reach period 9. The only additional thing you could do to improve this house is to put a sunroom out here, to maybe about here. And that would help the house a little bit. It might not make a complete difference, but it would help quite a bit, especially if you could have at least cooling in this area. It probably doesn't need heating though. And that would make this a slightly better house because you have a bit more of a complete house. But it's really not necessary. This house is already good as it stands. So that's basically it. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please feel free to contact me here if you want to see what can be done with your current house. You can also visit my ad-free website to get more information and a few more videos that are not available on YouTube. Thank you again.